Afternoon children, and welcome back. Today we are continuing with the excretory products and their elimination lesson, and today we'll be doing micturition. What is this micturition? It is the passing of urine by a person. It's called as micturition, and it is controlled by the nervous system. So it is a reflex action, children. Okay, and as the urinary bladder is getting filled slowly throughout the day as we drink water and it is converted to urine, slowly the urinary bladder gets filled up with this urine, right? And this will stretch the bladder. This will stretch the bladder, and there is actually stretch receptors on the walls of the urinary bladder. Okay, and the stretch receptors will send, as it is getting stretched, it sends signals to the central nervous system. Okay, and now the central nervous system passes motor messages. Sensory is the one which goes from bladder to the nervous system, and the motor message is the one which comes from the nervous system to the bladder. And thereby, what happens? The urethra opens and the urine slowly passes out, and this happens by the contraction of the smooth muscles of the bladder. The contraction of the smooth muscles of the bladder, and there is relaxation of the urethral sphincter and the opening of the urethra, so that the micturition happens. Okay, and this neural mechanism causing micturition is called as micturition reflex. Okay, normally an adult passes around 1.5 liters of urine, and this urine contains nearly 25 to 30 grams of urea. 25 to 30 grams of urea per day. That's the usual normal range, right? Sometimes the urine may have excess urea in the urine, right? So urine, what about the characters of urine, children? So urine is a light yellow colored liquid which is slightly acidic in nature and has a characteristic odor. Odor means smell. And usually urine contains urea, and it is yellow in color because of the presence of bile. Okay, right, and it's mainly water, liquid in nature, so it's nearly water. Sometimes abnormal contents may be present. Okay, abnormally, especially glucose in urine implicate the condition as diabetes. The people may have diabetes, then they will have glucose in the urine, and then the condition is called as glycosuria. If glucose is present in urine, it is called as glycosuria. Okay, if ketone bodies are present, it is called as ketonuria. If blood is present, blood is not filtered, we told, isn't it? The glomerulus it will not filter the blood cells and the plasma proteins. All the other contents get into the filtrate. But sometimes if the glomerulus has got inflamed, inflammation of the glomerulus results in production of blood in the urine. Then it is called as hematuria. Hematuria. Glycosuria, ketonuria, like that, different names are given, right? Okay, so the urine analysis helps in clinical diagnosis of many metabolic disorders and malfunctioning of the kidneys. Okay, now you might have heard of diabetes. The actual name is diabetes mellitus. There is another condition called as diabetes insipidus. What is this condition? The person also. What are the symptoms of diabetes people, children? The people will have excess thirst, excess urination, and the same condition is seen in diabetes insipidus also. Insipidus, that is excess urination. So people may mistake it to be, the people might have sugar or diabetes. But actually it is the deficiency of another hormone called as ADH, antidiuretic hormone. Okay, so the deficiency of that will result in this diabetes insipidus. Okay, right. Now even there are other organs which serves as excretory organs. Excretion means removal of waste from our body, right? So these are the following organs. The lungs, they remove CO2 and also water also is removed along with that. Nearly 200 ml per minute CO2 is removed from the lungs through the nostrils. And liver secretes bile containing bile. Actually bile or bilirubin and biliverdin are produced by the destruction of RBCs in the liver. Bilirubin and biliverdin are the byproducts of blood cell destruction or digestion, whatever it is, right? Liver secretes bile containing biliverdin and bilirubin, cholesterol, degraded steroid hormones, vitamins and drugs. So all these are removed from the liver through the digestive waste, along with the digestive waste. Okay, most of them pass out along with the digestive waste. So this also serves as a excretory organ in removing these different waste products. And skin, as you know, the skin removes excess water along with many dissolved salts in that. Okay, skin removes water in the form of sweat. Sweat contains water, sodium chloride, small amounts of urea, lactic acid, etc. Especially this sweat actually gives a cooling nature to the skin. Okay, actually the primary function of sweat is to give a cooling effect on the body surface. And you know this, there is sebaceous glands on the skin which gives the oily nature of the skin, which produces sebum, which gives a oily nature to the skin, right? And this sebaceous glands eliminate steroids, hydrocarbons and waxes through the sebum. Sebum provides a protective oily covering for the skin. Okay, and saliva also proves as a excretory waste, excreting small amounts of nitrogenous wastes. Okay, coming to the disorders of excretory system, one of the condition is excess amount of presence of urea in the urine, which is called as uremia. So accumulation of urea in the blood due to malfunctioning of the kidneys, and it may lead to kidney failure or renal failures. And you might have heard of kidney stones, right, which is called as renal calculi. Renal calculi is the presence of stones. Stones are not actually stones, it is hardened calcium or other salts in the kidney and other parts of the kidney tubules, right? Okay, stones are insoluble mass of crystallized salts, especially oxalates, are formed within the kidney, which is called as renal calculi. Next disorder is glomerulonephritis. It is actually the inflammation of the glomeruli. Thereby sometimes even the blood is getting filtered and it comes in the urine. Okay, glomerulonephritis, which is the inflammation of the glomeruli. Okay, now we just told for the beginning about uremia. Uremia is the excess presence of urea in the urine. Okay, now this excess urea can be removed, and then it results in kidney failure, that, right? So kidney is not able to function properly. So this excess amount of urea in the urine can be removed by a process called as hemodialysis. Okay, now it is a process of removal of urea in patients with uremia. So it is done by using a dialysing unit, which serves as an artificial kidney. Okay. Now the dialysing unit, artificial kidney, contains a coiled cellophane tube surrounded by dialysing fluid. This one. Dialysing unit contains coiled cellophane tube surrounded by dialysing fluid. Now this dialysing fluid has the same composition of the plasma except that nitrogenous waste. So there is a tube, cellophane tube, surrounded by a fluid, which is the dialysing fluid. Okay. Now it has the same concentration of this as that of the plasma, but it is devoid of the nitrogenous waste, right? So because of this difference in concentration, the nitrogenous waste pass through the cellophane tube or cellophane membrane into the dialysing fluid. Okay. Now before that, the blood is drained out. The blood containing the nitrogenous waste is drained out through an artery and is again pumped back after dialysing. It is pumped back through a vein into the patient's body. And before it is pumped into the dialysing unit, an antiheparin, an anticoagulant, because the blood is coming out of the body, it may clot. So to prevent clotting, you are adding anticoagulant. Natural coagulant is heparin, got from the leech, heparin, right? Heparin is a natural anticoagulant which is added to the blood. Okay, and the porous cellophane membrane of the tube allows the passage of molecules based on concentration gradient. As nitrogenous waste are absent in dialysing fluid, these substrates freely move out, thereby clearing the blood. The cleared blood is pumped back to the body through a vein after adding antiheparin. When it is taken, blood is taken out from the body, you add an anticoagulant, which is the heparin, and when it is pumped back into the body, we add antiheparin is added to it. Okay. Now, in the case of acute renal failures, when the kidney failures, if there is no alternative, the only alternative is to transplant a kidney, right? And the kidney is transplanted from a very near relative, mostly siblings. Siblings means brothers or sisters. Next chance is for the parents. If the siblings cannot donate, or they are not matching, or they are not tissue matching, the parents are the next choice. And if they are also not able to donate, we go in for other people, right? And if even cadaver transplant is also possible. Cadaver means taking organ from animals. They are also mammals, that's why, right? From other animals also it is possible. Okay, so it is the ultimate method in the correction of acute renal failures. A functioning kidney is taken from a donor. It is better to receive kidney from a close relative to minimize chances of rejection by the immune system. The immune system will immediately recognize this organ as an antigen, a foreign substance, foreign thing, and it will immediately react, and the operation may become success, or the patient may die due to this immune response. Okay, so there is now injections available to prevent all these things, children, no problem. Okay, so this is with the disorders of the excretory system. Okay.